Hi, I'm Fight, and today I want to talk about the fourth week of the 12th block with my coach. I got sick. I don't know whether you can hear it, but my voice is more or less gone. My son brought something home from daycare, and because I'm at the end of my block and fatigue is setting in, it just hits me a little bit harder. But let's go through or just generally talk about my week. So, on Monday, I did a little bit of just fun rings play. That is not scheduled, and I'm not supposed to do this, but I just wanted to do it, and so I did. I have my rings hanging in my office, and so that's very dangerous. But I did that, felt good, didn't feel too fatiguing. At this point, I was still fine. In general, though, I think movement quality this week was not super. And I think that's just overall fatigue at the end of a block, paired with higher intensities. Um, I am kind of happy with the front lever hold at the end of this, even though it's not completely, flat. It's okay. It's a start. Um, And I think my handstands in general and my skill work was actually okay when I gave myself time. I say this because I did a little bit of a boo-boo on day one, but um, all of that work generally I think was more or less okay. And then when it was about the harder movements, or the weighted movements, then I was just kind of, I don't know, not overshooting, but it was really, really hard. The prescribed intensities were just at the limit of what I could do. And I also kind of screwed myself on some things. Like these handstand push-ups, I warmed up with overhead presses and I went up to, I think, 60 kilograms, which for me is a really hard overhead press and not a warm-up for sure. Um, I weigh 64 kilograms, so warming up with a 60-kilogram overhead press is not necessarily productive. The rest of the workout was fine. I didn't like my form on the pull-ups, and this will be, kind of a theme here with a lot of the weighted movements. The I just I went in and I got my work done, but I did not make it pretty. Um, so if you look at this, like I'm really struggling through my set, and this is the first set of three. Um, what was kind of nice was the bench press, especially after frying myself with the overhead press. I was able to do this 65 for 9 for two sets and then 62.5 for 9 on the last set, which is an increase. And so I'm happy with that. Um, and it's also very controlled. So there's really nothing to complain about. It was really hard for sure, but it was okay. It was doable. Um, I always struggle with bench press, mostly because we're doing such high reps. It's just 9 is a really high rep range for me on bench press, and I feel it. I hope that we're going down again on reps at some point with this, but I think I'm gonna have to be okay with this for a while. And we worked up to it. I was doing sevens and eights for a while, and but because we increased reps both on the uh, pull-ups and on that, I really don't increase weight much there. Yeah, I even decrease it on the pull-ups because I need to get those extra reps. So that's a little bit annoying, but it's okay. You can see kind of my knees caving in here big time on these squat back offs. I was supposed to do, I think, sixes, with 125 kilograms, and that just killed me. At 85% is that's what it is. Because I have new Feiyus and they were just not ready for the task yet. I was just swimming in them. I don't know whether you've ever worn Feiyus, but when they're new, they have these very springy soles and they don't give you like support at all. Um, you might have noticed also that on the deadlifts there, I did less reps than usual, and that was because my straps, one of my straps is lost. I bought new ones, but they weren't there yet, and so I did them strapless, and so I did 145 for 5, which I'm happy with. But I was supposed to do eights, but eights without straps, I don't get to a useful rep range for what we want to do. Here I was trying to get as slow and control the muscle up as I could, and I'm actually really happy with how slow and controlled it is. So yeah, it really is okay. Um, and the same with the handstand push-ups. Actually, I'm really surprised because, as I said, like the weighted movements just weren't there, and that was fine, right? It wasn't my best handstand push-ups, but it wasn't my worst by any means, and so I'm kind of I'm kind of confused. Um, yeah. So high pulls, like I didn't do a single muscle up this week, but that's okay. High pulls, keep in touch with them. And here, both on the dip and the chin up, I'm just not happy with my form. And like this dip was a bit of a grind on the top part, which I didn't expect. Um, Here you can see like I have some not lockout issues on the first few reps. Like it's just not pretty. I mean, I get the job done and everything, but I would give myself a lot of no reps here. I'm not sure that the dip depth was there on these sets either. It was just a lot. The volume sets that we have, they're percentage based. So I was supposed to do I think 70% of my 1RM for 5 on the chin up, and then 80% or 80% for 5 on the dip. And that was just really hard. Um, yeah, so that's okay, but I'm not super happy with that. And then I got sick after this day, so I had actually 2 days of training free, and I trained on Monday instead of on Sunday, which I would have trained on Sunday, but you can hear my voice now. You can imagine what I felt like and sounded like at the height of things. So yeah, I did this morning. Basically, I did 170. Wanted to hit 175, and I think it was there, but my hand opened. I don't know whether you saw that. Here I'm adjusting because I did the first rep without straps, and then decided no, 6 reps of this 150 is not there without straps. So I did the rest of my reps with straps, and for all of the sets afterwards as well. So I did 3 volume sets of 150 times 6. Is the first one, and I did 170, and I failed 175 because my hand opened up. Which is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm not usually that concerned about my grip strength. It's just that at some point I'll have to work on my hook grip a little bit more. But it's nothing that I'm particularly concerned about at all. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I had the squats afterwards, high bar squats, and then I skipped all of my assistants that day, just because I don't want to incur more fatigue than is necessary, absolutely necessary, and just enjoy my deload after this. And yeah, so I just did these high bar squats. As you can see, my depth wasn't super. Usually my depth is better, But I learned from my other lower body session that week, and kind of I squatted barefoot and or in socks, and I deadlifted in socks because my feus still aren't up to the task of supporting me. And so that was fine. I'm not super happy with the squats either because of the depth, but really, like, I'm happy that I showed up and lifted what I lifted, considering what I feel like, as you can hear. So anyway, um, I'm not suggesting you train when you're sick. Take your rest. I figured I have one more workout to go before I deload anyway, so might as well get that one in. So, do as I say, not as I do. Have a good week. See you around.